Hello and welcome to Tetfield South, the station we're currently looking at, and to SpeedyNet and the modded OpenTTD game that we're in. Now we're looking at this station as it is being part of a satellite network, a network that has been growing separately from the main network, but I think right now is the time that it joins up and it becomes part of the bigger organism that is our network, that is spreading like roots and veins into the landscape. Yeah, I come in and when describing it like that, it almost sounds organic. And perhaps it is, you know, evolving and adapting ever to the changing situations. Now, so hooking it up, and as we've established last time, that basically, well, we could do it to this direction, or this direction. But I have taken a look at things closely, and the conclusion is that over here would be the best part to hook everything up. So yeah, it's established now. However, that's not all. I have been doing some balancing and all that. And as you can see over here, we are, I believe, a good year ahead in time. And things have happened. Now, I haven't built any tracks, but I have been adding like a mail network over here. I've made all the passenger services two-way. And we got quite a few more trains and, well, wagons, or actually horses and boats as well. In fact, you know, these new fishing routes that we got, they now, instead of having these sailing boats, they have these big boats because, yeah, the sailing boats didn't have enough capacity and these do have a lot more, so... Yeah, now, for the rest, one thing, you know, that I really felt I should mention is that over here, you can see that the amounts of booze are finally going down, and that is because I've added another booze line, which I'll show you right here, right now. Alcohol, where are you? There, I believe it is. And let's see. Yeah, we're now taking booze to this place over here. I mean, it accepts it, so we might as well, right? And, well, we had a stable, well, stock of like 2 million liters actually, but that's like rapidly declining right now, so good for us, huh? Now, I have plans for what to do, but there... Oh, by the way, let's close off this annoying these annoying lines on the screen there. Now, like I said, I have plans for what to do, but before we get to working on those, I did want to show you one quick interesting graph that we haven't looked at for a very, very, very long while. Look, it's the operating profit graph, and as you can see, which I find quite interesting, you can see that our operating profit hasn't been going up only. No, it's actually been, well, of course there's a growing trend over here, so that's a good thing. But as you can see, there's been quite a big decline actually. Now we were at almost 6 million profit a year, and this is actual profit, and that is with the taxes subtracted. However, when you look over here, I think right over here is when we started our satellite network, you can see that our income went down a little bit because of construction investments, but then our profit went down even further because we had to pay more taxes for all the real estate investments that we had to make. However, I do think, because I have a plan, a grand scheme of things, that this whole satellite network thing, in the end, you know, this will go up further and further all the way to over there because of the grand plan that I got. And I'm not gonna unveil it just yet, but it is going to impact the rest of the network quite heavily. So yeah, now I mean, I'm leaving it all up there, but trust me, I've got a plan. Now, the first thing though, before we start hooking up the satellite network, the first thing that we need to do is we need to, well, kind of like make bypass tracks for Graham Hotel Station, because currently Graham Hotel Station is a bit overcrowded, if I may say so, and that isn't just because of the passengers here, which are also overcrowding. I mean, the thing is though, this is like from the hotel and from other stations, and well, I've added quite a few more trams. I think though that I'm gonna add like a couple more so that yeah, those passengers get taken care of, because when I started balancing, and this was at 800, and I've added 3 more trams and it's only going up. So anyway, yeah, we need bypass tracks, because pretty much all the trains going to the textile mill need to bypass this station, as well as quite a few passenger trains and all the trains from over here that go to the stockyard and the grain mill. So there's a lot of traffic going through here that doesn't belong here. So what we need is a bypass track, and that is going to be more difficult than, well, just saying we're gonna build one and that be done with it. But as always, I have a plan, so let's get to it. Oh, now that's a snag. We can't build a bridge above a station. Okay. That wasn't really expected, but fine then. If that's the way it is, then I will deal with it. Right, and that's that done. So now hopefully this will relieve some of the traffic that was on this station, hopefully. And wow, to say that this is a beauty, not really. And perhaps, you know, if we start seeing more traffic over here, what I'm thinking of doing is just reworking the whole thing in its entirety and have the main line just travel like this, and then rework this junction along with this station completely. For now though, we're gonna leave it as is, as we got something functioning that, well, it's far from ideal, but hey. Moving on now towards where we're gonna hook things up, huh? See, we have a large body of water over here, and as somebody in the comments asked and suggested, and I'm actually quite open to that idea, why don't we have lots of bridges over the water in our network? Well, for one, we do have a few. Look, we have this one over here. There's a very busy bridge, in fact, which is always seeing heavy traffic. But this is pretty much the only real bridge that we have. All the rest of our network is just going over land. So, you know what, we are going to change that, and what we're gonna have is bridges over this body of water. I mean, it is kind of suited for it as well, with this little peninsula over here, which is just like asking to me, bridge over me. So we're gonna do that. Now, where we're gonna hook up this network is right over here. well, somewhere around this stretch of track is where we're gonna have the joint. And in the bigger light of things, why over here? Because if we just do it like this and then zoom out, yeah, it's best shown like this, I guess. Over here we have lots of terrain before we even reach these tracks, and I don't know, those are hills. There's already a lot of infrastructure there, which pretty much doesn't give us that much space for proper junctions. Of course, that's a challenge, you know, but over here there's also a hill, but there isn't much infrastructure, so that's easier to work around this and get a nice junction going. Also, well, this one was already a big no actually from the moment I looked at it, because of, well, water and stations. So, and then there's the last reason why we're gonna hook it up over here. That is because the future plans that I have involve going over there, so it's best if we then already have a junction that kind of just, well, will continuate to over here. And that is also probably going to mean that we're gonna have to rework this station at some point. Seeing how this is our only petrol station, that's going to become more and more important in the future. So, first though, we're gonna hook this up, and that means that we're also gonna get passenger services to and fro, so that the line isn't just completely useless. And in fact, I have more plans for this new line that we're gonna build, so let's get them tracks out, shall we? Alright, so we got this hooked up now, and well, you know, I said we would get some passenger lines out there, so why don't we? Oh, and look at this! This, ladies and gentlemen, is the new locomotive that we have now. As you can see, the 280 consolidation is, well, it's actually, I think, an upgraded version of the Mogul. And you might be wondering, like, upgraded? Are you sure, Damage? Because it goes slower, but yes, this is upgraded, because look at the tractive effort that it can bring. I mean, that's like a 50% increase. Now it does go 8 kilometers slower, but this is perfectly suited for things like coal, iron, sand, stone, clay, and other things that do not decrease in worth that quickly and are very heavy to pull. This is the perfect... Ooh, yeah, wow, we're actually ahead of the message. How cool is that? So yeah, you know, developments happening right here. And well, I'm sure we'll see a use for it, though not right now, because we are gonna be pulling passengers, so we need a fast locomotive with well, a bit of power, because we're also gonna be carrying mail. So yeah, let's get ourselves a train then. Alright, and this will be the very first train to ever use the station. Now, I could have hooked this up over here, but really, I mean... Wow, okay, yeah, well, we could have hooked this up over here, but... Yeah, the thing is, we would then have to rework all our tracks once again and include a lot of more track work, so it's easier to just keep it over here. Really. Now, with that over there, here's my other plan that I had for these tracks. See, this textile mill is producing 240 crates of goods, and we have a stockyard producing 230 tons of food, as well as the sugar refinery producing another 215 tons of food. So, oh, and let's also not forget this grain mill also producing lots and lots of delicious food. So, why don't we start and do something with all these goods? Why don't we ship them to places like over here, for example? I know that you accept food. You don't. But let's see what the other closest station is that will accept food. Well, you will accept food. I guess we could ship some over here, though that station is particularly busy already. Isn't there like something over here that accepts food? You accept food. Right then, I think that this is also a pretty good candidate. I know it's busy over here, but that's just a reason to upgrade the tracks to, like, I don't know, 4-lane at some point. So yeah, we're gonna ship some food to over here. We're gonna ship some, I don't know, some goods over here. And maybe as well food as well, because let's just get a quick roundup here. You are making goods, huh? Alright, so far so good. You are making food, and food. Right, so you know what, we'll take the goods the furthest and we'll take the food to this town over here. Good, it's decided. Let's get this going. And for that, we actually do need them tracks that I just said a moment ago I wouldn't be making because it was too much work. See how quick things can change here, huh? Wow. Right, well, this is a bit of, I don't know, it looks odd, but I guess it works, so, and despite it looking odd, I quite like it, you know, I quite like this sharp U-turn, though it's not high speed and it's far from optimal, but anyway, right now we can have trains delivering goods to faraway stations, so we're gonna have that happen. Oh, and look at this. Goods absolutely need very fast trains, so we'll give them those. Right, now there's a good chance that we might need more than just one goods train, as it needs to go from all the way over here till all the way over there. And of course it would have been so much quicker if we also added tracks over here, but that's not gonna happen. Needs to be a multi-purpose line for it to be worth its money. So, now let's see. Yeah, we do have tracks over here. So, I guess that John Ford over here is now gonna get loaded in food. Alrighty then, so now we have at least 3 trains moving over here. But there's a very high chance that we will need an extra goods train over here. And we most definitely need another food train over here, as we got double production. Yeah, I can already see that happening. So you know what? To be ahead of that situation, we are going to have another food train, just because. And also that one will actually have food in them because, well, you know, there's now something waiting. So, right, I'm not really sure whether or not this one will need the extra food, so we'll wait with cloning another one over here. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that the goods one will also need an extra. Oh, no, that was over here. Yeah, we already got 101 crates of goods, and that's only gonna become more. Whilst your capacity is... well, and you haven't even arrived. What's your capacity? It doesn't say the total, but I do believe that it's around 100 or something. So, yep, you are also gonna get a brother. There, right. And that's actually good because, you know, then we will have full trains riding the tracks over here. So, well then, huh? We got passengers and mail being set up over here. And do we have ones with the new destination already? Because that would be a little far town south. No, no we don't actually. Nor do we have... no. Ah, fine. I guess that just has to sink in. Right, so... ooh, we also seem to be in need for a bigger livestock train. So we might as well get ourselves you know, an upgrade on our livestock train so that it becomes a little bit bigger. Now where is it? Oh wait, look at that. Even though the bypass isn't like the shortest route, they are taking it just because it doesn't travel through the station. Very nice indeed. Right, so we're probably gonna add like, I don't know, another 3 or 4 vehicles. The thing is, livestock doesn't take up any space, so that's good. And one thing I'm also quite curious to is like, this is our farm supplies stockpile and clearly it's run dry. I mean, that much is pretty much obvious, so... whatever we now produce in terms of farm supplies, that's pretty much what we're gonna have to work with. So, right. Anyway, I'll quickly lengthen up this train. There, and done. Right, so now that we got this all set up and we got a nice little bypass track and all that, well, there's a few things we could do. See, for our next expansion, I've been looking around already and I know where we want to go. Now you might be wondering like, what, another expansion? But you just did that, and I know we just did, but this one was just the groundwork. And right now, you know, this one's producing goods so that we can ship those off to, you know, our older network, which is what we're doing. I mean, this whole, well, long stretch of land over here is purely there to supply our main network, really, or at least parts of it. I mean, of course we couldn't supply everything because that would just cause too much traffic, but the way we got it set up right now feels good. However, you know, this is how it works with SpeedyNet. You get expanded into, you know, your new area. You first need to give and then you will receive. So the next area will also be supplying, you know, the towns over here in this part of our network. So it's all a bit of give and take, and yeah, we're gonna have a next expansion because in the bigger scheme of things we need this expansion, which I'll spoil right now. It's going to happen over here in this area. We need this one because once we got that, then we pretty much got everything covered. All, well, you know, pretty much this whole area is within our coverage, and then we can start thinking about some proper macro development of our network, you know, and take things to the next level, step up a notch in the game. Now, another reason why I want to expand over here is because, well, you know, this is a nice area. I've looked at what's there, but this is even nicer. Look at this. We got farms over here. I mean, there's like 6 in a... well, you know, there's like 13 in a dozen over here when it comes to farms. I mean, there's so many, so clumped up together. It's too good to just let them be here and not do anything with them. So, we are going to have one very big mega station here at some point. And that's gonna be loaded, and I kid you not, loaded with farm supply stuff. Like grain, livestock, milk, pretty much everything that gets produced here. But we're not there yet, because currently we have no means of getting a reliable and good enough source of farm supplies over to this place that will actually be able to have everything go gung-ho quadruple. So we need to get that sorted, and for that, let me quickly take you to this area over here where I want to expand, and let's open up the map view, right? Now, this over here, this stretch is where we are going to expand into. And if we then go to the resources and disable the names and wow, alright, let's actually close this a little bit. Disable all. There. Now, I've looked around and I know that there are lots of coal mines out there. Coal mines, of course, can produce farm supplies with help of a kiln. So, let me quickly show the lime kiln. There is a lime kiln over here, and I intend to use that one. So now, you know, our cluster of farms is all the way over there, so that does mean that there's a lot of travel time for our farm supplies, but that's alright. I mean, I don't really mind that per se. So then, because, well, you know, a quarry and a dredge site, they can also supply, so we might as well check where those resources are, alright? So, quarry, there. Look, see, now, I'm not gonna go out over here just to grab one quarry. But you, I mean, why not, right? And seeing how this is close to the water, this lime kiln, we could as well just have a boat surface this lime kiln as well. So that's a plus. Now we could, you know, also check. Look at that. There's also a dredging site close by. So this lime kiln will produce lots, and I truly mean lots, of farm supplies. But, and this is where things become interesting, I also want to know, and I'll close these down for now. Not the lime kiln though, but these, yeah. Now, I also want to know how we are going to get engineering supplies to boost that stuff up. And I've taken a look, and I believe it was the forests. Yeah, look at that. There's 4 forests out here that we can just, you know, have produce timber stuff. Alternatively, we could also check out iron. which I haven't done, and for good reason, because it isn't there. It is down over here, but I consider this to be too far out, so there's like 4 forests over there. Now what we would need is a sawmill. Look, there is a sawmill right here, and also right here. I'm seeing potential already. And we then need a timber yard, and I believe those were a little bit more problematic. Yeah, timber yard is quite far off, which... well, it is all the way over here, and yeah, there isn't really anyone close by. Now, there's 2 options we could go with, but since we're gonna have tracks over here running anyway, we might as well use this one and use our existing track work. Well, not yet existing track works, right? So this is the timber yard that we're gonna use, which is then gonna supply, and I mean this is where the engineering supplies will come from. So this one, and we have one over here as well, I know, but I know this is like pretty much at the same place, but still, you know, I consider this one to be too far away, and this station is already very big. Building it even bigger is not feasible, so we're gonna have another one over here, which we can then also more easily manage and have supplies go to different destinations, because this timber yard will be exclusively for this whole area. So then, you know, because we got the supplies sorted, I'm also quite inclined actually to well, once this is producing, you know, in full gear, in full swing, I'm quite inclined to actually send some supplies over to the coal mines over here as well, which will boost our supply production over here, and then also over here to the coal mines, you know, and well, we will be swimming in farm supplies and a boost in production over here. That is, you know, the theory so far. Now, when it comes to farms in this very area, I'm not really sure how many there were. It's better actually to check that, you know, with just a regular view, because you can more easily see the fields. So this is the lime kiln, you know, just to put things in perspective, and I guess there's a nice cluster of farms over here. And there's like this group of 4 close to a coal mine as well. Oh yeah. It's full of potential, this whole place over here. Fishing grounds, I noticed. Yeah, see, now that is the plan. We'll have to see how it all turns out. But yes, we are going to expand, and yes, it is also going to be yet another satellite network to start out with. Because I want to start at the very basics of this, and I want to start with the coal mines and the lime kiln. However, one thing I just now realized is that we are bringing food and goods over here, right? Aren't we missing something? I think we are. Let's quickly fix up this junction, shall we? Oh man. Right, I think that this will seriously reduce the travel time of the trains and also unburden this station quite a bit. Now, this isn't really like the ideal track placement, but you know, once we got our expansion going, this junction, I've already quite designed it in a way that this junction will be well, part of, you know, the main line. And let's just quickly see. Yeah, this is where our timber yard is. We would need a station over here, most definitely. And that station, ooh, well, that station, we would need to have that go around like this, I feel. So that it's over here and it's close to the water, so that we can, yeah, oh man, wow, I see so much possibilities. Yet, well, none of it has happened yet, but that and more will all happen next time when we play more OpenTTD.